Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Backseat podcast, episode 1.
Am I good to talk now?
Yeah.
Oh, bet.
That was the intro.
Good. No, good job on the intro. That sounds good. Dude, finally.
We're here.
We're finally here.
What can I say?
How long? Like a year ago that we were going to do this?
I personally have been trying to do a podcast since like 2020.
Oh, wow. Really?
But I just didn't have anything to talk about.
Okay. Really? With 2020?
Oh, I had a lot to talk about, but
Did you want that on the internet?
I'm the type of person, I gotta heal before I just spill. Heal before the spiel, if you will.
Heal before the spiel. No, I've never wanted to get on radio because I have a very nasally voice, and so I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna sound very.
I feel like my voice sounds like rocks.
What do you mean rocks?
If you just if you just raked your hand across a bunch of like sharp stones. I feel like that's what my voice sounds like in the ears. I try not to listen to content I make because I'm just like, wow.
I actually know what you're talking about. When I was 7 or 8 years old, we went to Nicaragua, and so we're literally climbing this mountain, and it made me thankful for the American parks and stuff because they actually have like rails and trails. We were literally we got on a mountain, we just got up. And so that's why I'm like, I remember getting.
And you were like, wow, this sounds like Catherine's voice.
Dude, no, no. When you said rocks, I was like, oh my gosh, that's just triggered a memory. I haven't thought about that in a long time. That was a good thing.
Wow.
Good things.
Anyways.
All right.
The Backstreet.
Wait, what is it?
Backstreet's back.
It.
I don't know.
We don't have the right.
I was born 2000.
We don't have the rights for that. All right.
You were so flat it didn't matter if we had the rights or not. Parody laws, man.
Parody. Dang, well, what if I try? They're like, nah, bro, we know you're joking.
They're going to be like, wow, you really did change the key and all, huh? Anyways,
right.
What is the Backseat Pod? The Backseat Pod is just a free thought podcast where we just sit and yap. It's really just a yap session about random hot topics that are going on in my brain. What'd you say the other day? The farts of my brain?
Oh, the farts of my brain. What did I say that about?
That's your discography.
Oh, yeah.
It's the farts of your brain.
Yeah, for what she's talking about is I actually do this thing where every time I'm talking to my friends and they send me a funny voice memo, I make a song around it. And so literally one of my friends, Tom, sent me something like, yee. So
he literally just made
and then I made
into a trap beat.
The nastiest trap beat. It was pretty dope. I'll maybe post it. I won't.
But anyways, the pod is essentially just the farts of our brain. So I hope you enjoy that. PU.
What?
You never did that? You ever ripped a fat one and was like, PU?
I have never.
Ripped a fat one?
I ripped the fat one for sure. I do this thing where when I rip it, I walk away and then I start pointing at people. So it's like, oh my God, it was you. I got you.
Everyone knows you got the eggs. Hey, if I smell eggs, I know who ripped that one.
Bro, better eggs than curry.
Get you a wife that knows what farts are yours.
That's upsetting.
That's what loyalty is like.
Loyalty. No, we don't have the rights to that one either.
Again, so flat, doesn't matter. They're not worried about you.
Listen, no one's worried about me. We're fine.
Anyways, should we get in some topics?
Okay.
I came prepared with topics. Also, don't mind this. It's a work in progress. It's kind of ugly.
Go to the back. It has the UFO one.
Oh, yeah.
I like the UFO one.
Shout out Dutch Bros. # not spons, but I wish it was.
Man, that'd be great.
So, yeah. So, I guess we already talked about what the pod. Do you have anything else to say on, who we are, what we are?
I don't know because...
What this is?
Well, what can I say in 2 or 3 sentences that maybe an hour of us yapping about nothing can say for us?
Just buckle up.
What is it? Buckle up, buckaroos.
Yeah. There you go.
There you go. All right.
A Southernism.
Cheers. Cheers. Oh, shout out Element Coffee in Edo. Really good coffee.
Shout out Celsius. Sponsor me. Because I sponsor you.
Actually, the Celsius packets, I'm not trying to get sponsored by Celsius.
They just bought Alani.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
so is
like
Alani?
Celsius owns Alani now.
So is Alani gonna stay Alani, or are they gonna become Celsius?
They're keeping it Alani.
Oh, cool.
It's kind of like how Johnson and Johnson buys up all their competitors, so you think you're getting a different brand, but really it's just Johnson and Johnson.
Oh,
They own like Aveeno and like all that nonsense. I know because they had like that whole talcum powder scandal,
I know.
and I was like, how do I not? And then I realized you can't. So.
Oh, okay.
Same thing with Celsius. They're doing the same thing. But honestly, I'm here for it. Monopolize that.
Monopolize. Oh my gosh.
Get the rats out of the Alani cans. Did you hear about that?
What?
Oh my
Wait,
God.
no. Okay, first of all, don't allegedly. Let's say allegedly.
No, there's a video. I don't have to allege nothing.
No, well, no. You gotta say allegedly.
We have 3 followers, and all of them are my family members. Who's gonna sue us?
I've been watching too many episodes of Suits. Allegedly.
This is not alleged. You should sue the person who put out this video, not me. I saw a video on TikTok where this person found a dead rat in their Alani can. But also, this is when they were owned by a different company anyway. So Celsius has no qualms with this. If anything, they're the rebrand.
Okay. So.
But yeah, they found a dead rat in their Alani can after they had been drinking it already.
So what? That actually happened?
Yes.
I thought that was like a meme or something.
No,
how
that was real.
So how does a wait? How does a rat get? I mean, I'm assuming it's like the size of this, right?
Yeah.
How does a rat get in? Like, does it go before they get
Well,
sealed?
it's in the batter.
You know, if we.
So like, how does the liquid get in, Christian?
All right. So if we ever interview somebody, I want to interview whoever makes these cans, and so I can ask them what that process would look like.
You know, you could just cut to the chase and watch how it's made. I'm pretty sure they'll tell you. I'm pretty sure it's a lot cheaper too.
All right. I want to know what kind of guy works at a can processing place. So what are our topics?
Oh. Okay, well, topic number 1, I have Marvin Sapp robbing his church at Mike Point. Look, never would have made it.
What's the one that never would have paid it?
They remixed. Okay, for those of you who don't know, there's this like big meme going around where Marvin Sapp basically on a Sunday.
Say, is it Bishop, Pastor Marvin Sapp?
I don't know what he is.
Give him his title.
I just know him as a gospel artist.
He's a pastor.
Well-renowned gospel artist / pastor Marvin Sapp. His full government name.
His title. He needs his title.
He basically was like on stage on Sunday, and I guess he was doing like a spontaneous altar call moment, and he literally was like, "Ushers, lock the doors.
Yeah.
Lock the doors. Y'all not going anywhere except to eat anyways." And first of all, how dare you call me out in church? And second of all, why are we locking people in?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on what was going on. I feel like...
Oh, it just made me giggle.
Yeah.
I just like the comment.
People
they
got
were robbed
hurt.
at Mike Point. I'm like, that's crazy.
No, but there are people that can't laugh at that. People like are fighting in those comments.
But most people need to just like buck up.
Yeah, I mean, like...
They just need to drop their panties and pick up a word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing. I laugh because I like that meme. The ushers lock the doors.
Yeah, I just think it's
doors.
funny. Look, I love Marvin Sapp. # never would have made it without you. What can I say?
Favorite song.
But
is
now
Still
he can
Listen.
remix it too. Never would have paid it.
Yeah, no, funny song. I like.
Did you hear the bounce version they made to that song?
There's the New Orleans.
It was a New Orleans bounce. It literally was
Yo.
bounce. Dun, 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 ushers, lock the doors. Dun, 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 dun. Like, I'm doing it way bad. That does not make it justice.
No,
but
it's okay.
No, it literally is so funny. I just think it's funny. No hate to Marvin Sapp.
No, he's literally one of the goats of gospel music. So shout out to him.
Look, I never would have made it without that song.
What's that song I like? Listen.
Is that him?
Yeah, you
I
tried
thought that was
your
R.
way.
Kelly.
No, so R. Kelly's in the beginning when he goes into the, and it's like, and it seems that every time you look, and I'm like, okay.
Oh no, that's I Believe I Can Fly.
No. R. Kelly's in the beginning of Listen. He does like a little speech. He tries to do the Kirk Franklin thing. You know how Kirk Franklin has like a song and he never sings a lyric. He's just like, whoa.
Wait, what was that Glorilla song? He was like, he's busting me.
Church.
he literally would.
Glorilla.
He's literally like the Quavo of like gospel music.
No. Someone put he's the DJ Khaled.
No, literally. They didn't believe in us.
They didn't believe.
But
God
Juice WRLD
did.
did.
Bro, that one was so weird. No, but actually, God Did was like Drake has a really good song in. Yeah, shout out Drake. But Drake has a really good song in God Did that I like.
He's getting canceled right now.
Yeah, that sucks. He's a great artist, right? He's a great artist. Like his music's fun.
Sergio's behind the camera, literally
Like,
shaking his head no.
Yeah,
Not a fan.
Okay.
He's
right.
like, hey, we're trying to get paid from this podcast.
Wait, first of all, I have no ill will to no one. Love to the
I have
Kendrick.
ill will to myself.
I don't have ill will to nobody. I mean, shout out to Kendrick. Kendrick's like one of the goats of rap. You know, and
Shout
Drake,
out Martin Luther King. He had a dream.
bro. You know Miles, dude. That is my favorite guy to listen to. Like, what a brilliant
Oh my God, what
person.
was that other Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones. I love Miles. I'm really glad he's getting like hype. I feel like there's no one in the music industry that does fun music, like gimmicky music anymore. Because I feel like everyone's like kind of like always trying to tell their story. It's like, dude, I don't want to hear everyone's story. Like, great, make a song, make a good song. You know what I mean?
Speaking of music industry and stories, did you know 21 Pilots is Christian?
I do know 21 Pilots is Christian.
First of all, I didn't know that they were Christian, like they even believed in God until Mercedes' ex-boyfriend, who's trash by the way, gave me that revelation and
He's
then
trash?
dumped her. Her ex-boyfriend?
I mean, he's a human being.
Oh, he's a human being, but he's not a good one.
Well, he wasn't he probably didn't have a good relationship. Wait, are you
Christian, you don't know this man and it doesn't matter.
Well, I think a relationship isn't good enough to validate whether you're trash or not.
Well, my only perspective of him was through the lens of this relationship. Therefore, my only interaction with him was trash.
Have you ever seen those videos? They're TikTok videos, and it's this guy that goes up to like strangers that are clearly on a date, and he's like, "Hey, bro, thank you for paying my groceries last week." And I'm like, "Yo, but like, your perception of someone changes with information.
Well, I have limited information, and I'm okay with keeping it that way. Hashtag prove me wrong if you want.
Well, I'm not sure that he would ever see this or anyone
won't.
close to him would ever see this. But if he did,
literally does not care about
but
this
if he
part.
does, I believe in you.
I don't. Sorry.
Yeah, you do. Yes, you do.
I really don't.
Yes.
Anyways, 21 Pilots is Christian.
21
That's
Pilots is
so
Christian.
crazy. I recently re-listened to them. I had a huge 21 Pilots phase in my life. It's kind of embarrassing. I'm like a recovering scene kid at heart, But I re-listened to the lyrics and I was like, Catherine, you idiot! Like, what did you think he was talking about?
Wait, what's that song? They got famous. Like they were pretty famous, but they blew up when Suicide Squad came out.
Yeah, Heathens.
Dude, that was.
But
such
that's
a
not
good
really
song.
like a religious.
It's not a religious. Well, I mean, it's kind of like religious-esque.
No.
It's around it. Well, not religious in the side of like this side or that side. It's like
We don't deal with outsiders very well.
Oh,
They say newcomers have a certain smell. Got trust issues, not to mention. They say it can smell your intentions.
That's definitely going under parody. See, it hurts when it says it to you. Huh?
It doesn't hurt me, because I'm great.
Sure.
But if
All
you're
right.
insecure, we can talk about that.
Wait, what song is Insecure? What song is it?
You're insecure. Don't know what for.
Yeah. There you go. That's
One Direction, if you ever see this, I love you.
I don't know if this was in our notes.
They're not even real anymore, huh?
Since we're talking about music, I don't know if this is in our notes. Thank you for recommending the Benny Blanco and Selena Gomez album.
You're welcome.
I love it.
It's not in my notes because it's a touchy subject to me.
Well, we're not. I mean, I would like to not discuss the topics of their songs, but
Oh no, I'm just a Selena fan. I keep an eye out for Selena. What can I say?
was that what they call her?
I forgot. You didn't listen to secular music till like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, no. Till I was 18.
Okay, so Justin Bieber has this song, and it's called "Beauty and a Beat," and Nicki Minaj is on it.
Okay.
Let's go to the beach. Nicki Minaj. She's on it, Nicki Minaj, and her rap. So basically, the whole song is like, all I need is a beauty and a beat, and it's like a party song.
Okay.
Her rap in the rap, she goes, "But I gotta keep an eye out for Selena, beauty and the beat," and like goes into it. So like that was post breakup that she wrote that rap.
Okay.
So it's like a funny like play on words. It's like
Okay.
we don't call her Selena, but like I was making a joke.
I've never.
But I'd explain it, so it's not funny anymore.
I mean, I didn't listen to like Disney radio. The only song I remember
Disney
from,
radio. This was on the radio.
Well, I didn't listen to the
Kiss
radio.
FM 92.1.
I didn't listen to the radio either.
Oh.
I was weird. I was a weird
Yeah,
kid.
what was the name of the rock you lived under again?
dude, Christian. I'm not going there. We're not going there. I am not. I'm not. I haven't deconstructed yet. But
It's a construction-free zone.
It's yeah. But no, I mean, I know Selena's album with Benny Blanco. I know it was about different things. Like it didn't. Everyone's always trying to like pinpoint it to be like, oh, it's against this person or that. I mean, it just sounds like love songs and like "Wish I Had You."
Yeah, look,
it doesn't
here's
really.
the thing.
And I don't know if it has the theme like if everybody wants it to.
Everyone wants to cancel Benny Blanco just because of the fact that he is who he is.
The GOAT.
Oh, excuse me.
The GOAT. Benny Blanco is the
y'all
GOAT.
all cancel Benny Blanco until you realize he produced half your favorite music as a kid.
He's a great writer, great producer, and he's like he could
he
probably.
He just looks so unbothered.
Yeah,
he's just chilling.
He has that vibe. I mean, but then again,
he's
I've only
like,
seen
I'm
him
a producer. I don't really need to earn your respect. I have all this money.
To be fair, I've only seen him through interviews, and so I'm like, probably maybe a different guy. But dude,
I watched his. He did an Architectural Digest video where he like showed like his bar cart and stuff and like how he likes to host people.
Yeah.
Honestly, like he in that video alone, like please, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. He gave me the best vibes. He was like, I want my friends to have fun. I want my friends to feel safe. Like this is what I would do if my friends came over. I like to have an array of options for them. And I just thought that was very like thoughtful. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm pro Benny until proven otherwise. But
his music, I mean, like how he did Selena's, I've never really cared. Not in a bad way, but I've never got up and been like, hey, I'm gonna go listen to Selena Gomez today. I've really never said that in my whole life. And then I was driving to work, and I was just like, damn, I want to hear it. What's the one that I like?
Ojos Tristes?
Ojos Tristes. I love that one.
Ojos Tristes?
Why am I saying that like I don't speak Spanish? Ojos Tristes.
Is that not what I said?
No, I said it like Ojos Tristes. So I was like, I need to say that like I know what I'm saying.
You said those two differently just now? You know what's giving? We never got over that language barrier. Yeah, no, it's not your fault.
no, don't laugh because that happened in real life.
No, okay, no. Actually, not in the notes, but we need to go there.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I had this friend that I had known him for years. Shout out Juan he's in Virginia.
He's somewhere.
He's in the DMV.
Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? That's how I feel about Juan.
So Juan, I've known this guy for years. You know, he's been friends with the family. He's like, bro, I love that dude like family. And he's like an uncle. And so, like, we're talking and we have like this gathering and we hadn't seen Juan in a long time. And so I'm like, bro, like, it's good seeing you. I'm like, how are you? Like, I'm speaking in Spanish and I'm thinking, oh, he's about to meet Catherine. I'm going to have to translate. It's not uncommon.
Give context to the fact you've known this man.
I've known this man this whole time. So
for how many years?
I want to say since I was 14.
And 15. You've only ever spoke Spanish to him?
I've only ever spoke Spanish to him.
Okay.
And so I'm thinking, I'm going to translate, which is common. When we go out to places.
You also prefaced me. You said, hey, Juan does not speak English. And I was like, all right, bet.
Yeah, and you've been around a lot of my family. My stepfather doesn't speak English.
I also, work in the Spanish ministry. Like, half of those guests don't speak English.
No, and so we're with Juan, and I'm, trying to translate. And he's looking at me. He's like, "Oh, it's okay, Christian. Catherine, it's very nice meeting." He's fully gives me
prophecy from God.
I literally was like, hey, stop your encouragement, dude. I literally was like, bro, for about 9 years, you have lied to me. You have made me stutter in Spanish. My Spanish is not great. It's not bad, but it's not great. And I have to really struggle to get all my sentences, my full thought out. And this guy's like, I've always spoken English. I'm like, why didn't you tell me? He's like, you never asked.
He literally hit us.
I was so upset, bro. I literally wanted to punch a wall.
He hit us with, my father always said, languages are the key to success. So I know 4 of them. And Christian, it was literally the meme of, you speak English? Yes, I spoke English my whole life. It was literally that.
That was such an upsetting.
That brought me so much joy. I just felt like I witnessed a rare moment in history.
I was so upset. I
witnessed a canon event in your life.
Dude, it's like, you know what it reminds me of? When I realized what's it called? So when when you're driving and the sun's coming in, so you put the what's it called?
The shade?
The shade. So you put the shade down. It extends.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know
Did you
when
know?
I found out it extends, and then you can turn it and it extends, and I'm like, oh.
Not all of them. Only some of them do.
My Corolla does.
Do you know that the Tesla one doesn't snap back into place?
What?
It's a magnet.
Oh wait, what?
Yeah, I aggressively pulled the shade down the other day and it went and I was like, "Hello?" And then I tried to like forcibly snap it back in and it was like not snapping. I kept waiting for like the click and it never came because it's a magnet.
Also, you just outed us for having a Tesla.
I don't care. Yeah, I have a Tesla. I care about the environment.
Okay, that's not what we got.
That is why we got it. Hashtag EV.
I got it because...
All y'all want to cancel me. I got it before Elon was crazy. Don't come for me. I don't know Elon.
Wait, no.
Look,
Like,
y'all can cut this out the pod. I don't care. Sergio, if you think I'm going to get... Look, Sergio, you care about your bag. If you think I'm going to get canceled, go ahead and cut this out.
What bag? That's crazy.
No, okay.
My favorite quote of Elon's was, what was it? It's like, oh, like, you should hope I'm not evil.
Here's my thing. I don't know this man. I don't even know the name of the person that creates Corolla. I don't know anything about
Don't either. No.
anyone.
Look that up.
I'm literally a nobody. So like why would I care about this? I don't know. Maybe that sounds very elitist of me, or maybe it just sounds like what is it whenever you can be ignorant and like privileged. That's the word.
Okay.
Maybe it sounds privileged, and that's okay if it does because I'm willing to grow. But at the end of the day, I'm like, you want me to ruin my credit score because this man said something you don't agree with? A lot of people say things I don't agree with, but I gotta pick my panties up and keep moving.
Yeah.
I got an EV because I want to protect the environment, and it goes vroom vroom fast fast. Did I know that this man was gonna get involved in American politics? Absolutely not.
Okay.
Tatsu
Hasagawa.
Hasagawa.
So he created.
Hasagawa.
He led the team that created the Corolla.
He led the team that created the Corolla.
1966.
Wow.
Oh, that
wow,
old?
my mother is older than the Corolla.
Yeah.
Why are you just outing her like that?
Only by 3 years.
Love you, Vicky.
You just gave her exact.
Oh my gosh. She's gonna like.
She's the only one that's gonna watch this podcast. It doesn't
And
matter.
she's gonna watch it fully too.
She's
She
gonna
gonna
be like,
she gonna
"Catherine."
screen record that part. It's like, how dare you?
Yo, what did I say when Betty White died? She was older than sliced bread.
She was. Bro.
I didn't even say R.I.P. Betty White. I literally I was so gobsmacked that she was older than like sliced bread.
Spiced bread.
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
She's older than her too.
Is Ice Spice making another album? Or
She's gonna reimagine the same one song. Oh, she's not doing it. Oh,
she's not doing it.
Our outside sources said that she's not.
You can say it. You can.
Oh.
She did.
Well, she got canceled because she started rapping about poop.
That was.
She did.
You're gonna give me pink eye. Oh man. Okay, we're definitely editing that part out.
I say leave it.
I say leave.
Look, I'm a hot girl with stomach problems. We can rap about poop if we need to.
I don't want to. Next, what's the next on the item? Next
sorry, we kind of skipped around a little bit. Oh, speaking about poop, on TikTok.
What? What do you mean? What?
Calm down, okay? We're all grown-ups here. I was scrolling through TikTok just like late at night, and I saw this man smearing peanut butter on a tree, just smearing peanut butter on a tree. Apparently, it's for the squirrels, and I just was like so enamored by that. I was like, first of all, like, are you encouraging the squirrels to like gnaw on your tree? I feel like that would hurt the tree. And second of all, like, what kind of peanut butter does one spread for the squirrels to gnaw?
You gotta do that crunchy one because they gotta like have that.
And then it reminded me as I was.
Does the ASMR come out?
You gotta do the face. Do the face that you make.
What do you mean?
Yeah, there you go.
What are we talking about?
No, but anyway, so he was smearing peanut butter on a tree, and it triggered a memory.
Oh.
It was like
you smeared. Wait.
No.
Wait. Where are we going?
No. Buckle up. You're gonna be all right. Just simmer down. It triggered a memory. That was such a southernism.
I know.
Simmer down. It brought me back to 2012. Me and my best friend Jasmine we live next door to. We live like 2 houses down from each other. We're neighbors, whatever.
Okay.
So our neighbor, like, had just moved into this house because the previous one died in the house. That's a different story. Sorry, Sergio just like looked up.
Dude.
Yeah, he died. He only had one leg, and then they threw his prosthetic leg away. I don't know. Anyways, and I had like nightmares for a solid year after that about like because my bedroom window like faces his house, so I'd like have sleep paralysis and stuff. But I mean, he was a cool guy. He just gave me the weirdest vibes. But I think it's because he had one leg. Anyways, besides that, he died in that house. The house gets sold. This new woman moves in. I think she's cool people. I go to her house one day. I'm 11 years old. Jasmine's like 9. She's 2 years younger than me.
Okay.
Math. She gives us cookies. I'm like, bet. Anyway, so we make friends with this random woman that lives next door to us. And then she tells us, hey, like, if y'all want to cross through my yard to get to each other's houses, you can. That's totally fine. Because, like, Jasmine lived on the house on the other side of her yard. So instead of having to walk all the way out to the street and walk all the way to Jasmine's house, it's a lot quicker just to cut through the yard because it's like yard to yard.
Okay.
And so we're like, bet, because we didn't want to like disrespect her property. So we start cutting through her yard. About a month goes by, and then I randomly one day just start seeing her like peeking out her blinds every time we cut through her yard. And I'm like, that's strange, but whatever. Maybe she has nothing to do. Like, I'd be doing that. I'm nosy. But then she'd start going outside every time we cut through her yard. And then that made me feel kind of funny because I was like, you're not saying anything to me, but like, you're literally only coming outside for the duration of me crossing your yard. And then one day but I didn't think anything of it. I'm like 11. I'm just trying to have a good time. It's summer, whatever. Then I cross through her yard again, like later on in the month. And she pulls me and Jasmine aside. And she's like, where are my rocks going? These rocks, first of all, she put around the tree as landscaping. They're literally the most mid rocks ever. Like, she basically insinuated that we were stealing her rocks. Because she was like, yeah, my rocks keep going missing. And, like, they're in my yard. And y'all are in my yard a lot. And I'm like, yeah, well, you told us we could cross through your yard. So, like, that's why we just crossed through your yard. But we're not, like, in your yard a lot. But okay. And she's like, yeah, they just keep going missing. So can you tell me where my rocks are going? And I said, I don't know where your rocks are. Like, we were just so confused. We're like, we don't know where your rocks are going. And she basically, like, she literally just called us, like, rock thieves. That we were stealing these mid rocks. First off, I'm gonna steal a rock. It's gonna be a shiny, pretty rock. These were like stones. Just the most basic rocks that you could steal from like a Walmart parking lot. Looked like busted up cement. Why am I about to steal these rocks? Also, what do you think I'm doing with all these rocks?
You know, when you say like, you know, playing with rocks, it just reminds me of this SVU episode where this kid killed another kid with like giving him a rock.
Oh.
I think he made him like eat a rock.
Yum.
That's
one time I lost a rock in my belly button.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Like a pebble?
Like a pea gravel rock, you know?
You know
I
what
was
kind of
laying
rock?
down. No, you know pea gravel, like in the playground?
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was laying down at the playground at school one day, and like we would find shiny rocks, and one like got in my belly button, and I never found it.
Oh.
When you were a kid, you ever put weird stuff up your nose?
You know, I feel like as a kid, I wasn't kind of gross.
I put a piece of
wasn't
rice
gross as
up
a
my
kid.
nose. Now this is actually really gross. I put a piece of rice up my nose when I was little.
Okay.
Like very little. I don't remember it. My mom told me about it years later. I went to the doctor and they said, well, we can't find it, so it probably came out on its own. I kid you not, summer of like 2018, it was raining all summer long. I got crazy nosebleeds. I blew my nose super hard. A grain of rice came out.
Was this cooked rice or uncooked rice?
Uncooked rice.
Did you wash it beforehand?
Before sticking out my nose?
Yeah.
I was literally like 1.
Okay, so like the starch
So
was
no.
there. Okay. Was it like...
I just assumed it made it up to my brain.
Did it come out steamed or something?
No,
like
it came
soft?
out like a raw piece of rice.
Oh, wow. How warm is your body that it can... Like, could I cook in my body?
No, because you'd have to boil it.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm not. I don't think sometimes. I just like to. I like to. I was that kid that would play Operation, and then I'd be like, dude, like forget all this. Like I'm trying to open the box. Like I'm seeing what's like behind all this. Like I was kind of that kid. When they say outside of the box, I literally am the, unfortunately, not
You
the
ever
creative
get
part.
tested to be like Spark?
I wanted to look no, so I was tested. The gifted program, all of it, like all of it, and I kept telling these people, I am
You
not.
all.
So what's next on the agenda?
Oh, perfect. Did you have bullet points? I kind of been just yapping about like what I had to talk about. I have other ones if you don't, but I
No,
want
yeah,
to
you know-
open up the floor to you.
No. I'm good to just keep going.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah, let's go.
Well, let's see where we're at. Oh, I didn't even talk about why I brought up Marvin Sapp robbing his people at gunpoint. No, Mike Point.
Mike Point,
Big difference.
very big difference.
It reminded me of a story I had back in my old church. So basically, like the old church I was at, we invited this like famous Southern Louisiana speaker to come. I think they're pretty. I don't know how famous they are. They're famous for Louisiana, but also we have like 5 people in our state, so like do that what you must. But we invited him like to speak and like as a guest. And
Okay.
so I I was 16, 17. I think I was 17. I was 17 at the time. I didn't have a job, and I roll up to church. I didn't bring my wallet. I left my wallet in the car, and I just like rolled in, and I sat on the front row with all my friends because that's what was available.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting in the front row with all my friends. Keep in mind, like it's like the head usher's daughter, like the associate pastor's brother, like we're all around the same age, but like we're all like key members of the church. It's not like we're just a bunch of randoms,
Okay.
So that's important for later. He goes through his whole sermon, I'm like, amen, hallelujah, keep it preaching. And then he wants to do a special tithe and offering. And I kid you not, this man says, everyone stand up. So I stand up because I'm like on the front row,
Okay.
literally. And he's like, you cannot sit down until you tithe. And he said, I want the offering buckets in the front. Everyone's going to drop an offering, and you cannot sit down until you drop an offering. And at this point, like, I had raging social anxiety, and I was having a panic attack. Because, keep in mind, my other friend also forgot her wallet in the car.
Oh,
so
wow.
that's the head usher's daughter. Forgot her wallet. The guy on the other side of me, that's the pastor's brother, is like, yo, I don't have any cash. None of us have any money. I had no job.
Wait, how old were you?
I was 17. I had no job. I had no money. I was broke as a joke.
Do you remember what his reasoning was for?
He wanted to bless. It was a love offering.
For who? Who were we
For
loving
our
on?
pastor.
Hey, what? Y'all don't love him enough?
There's so many things I could say, but I'm going to choose not to. I'm just going to move past it. But anyways, so people, it's like so emotional. People are running to the front. They're throwing money in the offering buckets. People are sitting. He's like, and I'm not going to stop till every one of y'all gives. You need to give. You're robbing the church and you're robbing your pastor because you won't let God use you. Would you rob God? And I'm literally like, God, like, how, like, if I just sit down, do you think he'll notice? Like, I'm on the front row.
You're not even questioning what he's saying. You're
No,
like,
I'm
clearly
just
this guy's
I'm
deranged.
panicking. I'm shaking. And he thinks I have the Holy Spirit. No, I'm afraid. And I don't know what to do. I'm like looking around, and he's like, you see these kids on the front row? They don't want to give. They don't want to give. They hate the Lord. Damn the youth. Y'all go give them some money so they can give.
Wait, hold, pause real quick. Damn the youth is
Damn
a
the
very
youth.
cold.
He's like,
what a
you
cold
see the
line.
state of our youth ministry today? It's because their hearts have been hardened to giving.
The kids?
And I'm
the babies?
I'm literally sitting here and I'm like, I have no job. I'm poor. Like, what? My dress is thrifted. What do you mean?
Thrifted is crazy. Well,
And
I
then-
like thrifting.
And I kid you not, as he's saying, like, damn the youth, the head usher, my friend's dad, back turned to us. Amen, y'all, give him some, like, literally egging this man on fully. So then the church just starts coming up, just throwing money. I felt like a cheap stripper. Let me tell you, they were throwing money at us, bro. like,
Giving y'all
like
coins or
y'all
something?
need to
Like,
give. A man handed me $50, and
Bro,
that, and
I'm so devious. I would have pocketed that and
I
left.
literally-
I would have been violent.
at that time also I had a really warped perception of like grace and like giving to your friends. So like I was very prideful and like I don't like to take handouts. I'm still working on that. I'm a lot better. But at the time I had like this high responsibility, high pride. Like you don't take handouts, like you work for your money even though I had no job. Like you don't take money from your friends. Like you need to be self-made, independent.
Oh, okay.
Excuse me. So it was really hard for me like to process that. Like as a 17-year-old, people are literally throwing me money to give to God on the behalf of me, but like it's not my money I'm giving, so like why don't you just give it? Like why did you give it to me for me to give when you could have just gave it and I could have sat down? So I was having a lot of feelings and I was like having a panic attack. So I took that $50, put it in the bucket and sat down. And that man was just staring at us the rest of the time and he's like, y'all, we need to intercede for the youth of this world because you know, it's a beautiful thing that we can come together and intercede on the behalf of people who don't want to give.
Like,
And I'm like, what?
oh man, you're triggering me right now. Like,
No, literally.
You're making me
So
upset.
all
That's
that
crazy.
ends, and I just go straight home because he literally knocked me out the spirit, ruined my Sunday, and I just went home. And like, I kid you not, that messed me up mentally for like a month.
You know what's crazy? Like, but I don't know if you were done.
No, that was the end. It was just crazy because I was like, now not only did you like cause a scene, I feel so conflicted.
Yeah, because
And I feel poor. So thank you for giving me all three of those.
Well-
as if I didn't already know I was poor.
well, that's the thing about this. Like, I don't want to say old church because I feel like there's still going on, but there's this love of trying to pocket money out of people. Like, I don't know what.
It's like Christian panhandling.
And I don't want to. I want to say this is everyone, but I do not see. I do not see Muslims doing that. I do not see Jews in a synagogue doing that. I mean, for sure, atheists ain't doing that. Like,
No, they just go on TikTok live and ask for galaxies.
But that makes more sense to me.
Same
It
difference.
makes more like if you're gonna be asking for money, it makes more sense if like. It's more sincere to me if you're like, hey, dude, I'm not trying to have a full-time job. You know, go ahead and give me some money. Which I know that's not most Christians. I'm sure that's not most pastors, even if they do things like that. But like, I told you earlier, it's like belief to me is like the scariest thing to me because people will believe like if I do not give, like if someone comes up and is like preaching that same turn or burn or pay or burn message, and they're like if you don't give $1,000, $20,000 today, you're gonna maybe not go to hell, but like God's not gonna bless you or you're robbing God. Like my whole thing with that, it's like I don't think you understand what you do to that person's belief system because they go two routes. They go to the route you went to where you feel sad, not just sad because like I don't know if you felt like you had to give, but maybe you were just like upset that happened. And like
I just felt like I was made like a spectacle almost.
it's so
because
yeah,
I
you
also
kinda
grew
feel
up
used.
like I was baptized Pentecostal. Like I understand.
Shout out to Pentecostals.
Shout out the
We-
shiny pennies. Let me tell you,
We love you, UPC.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost, amen.
Hallelujah.
Also, shout out to the UPC people. Y'all's like the youth conferences. I mean, they're all in 3-piece suits. Just they look beautiful, beautiful.
So I was like baptized Pentecostal,
Yeah.
but I was not raised culturally Pentecostal, so I've never been to a youth retreat like that.
Dude, they're so dope.
But anyway, so like it wasn't like I had never been in a emotionally led environment before.
Okay.
And I knew then and still now know the biblical principles of tithes and offerings.
Yeah.
And I just want to like clear that out of the way that I do think like tithes and offerings are important and we should be asking for them.
Yeah.
But I
yeah.
just don't know if this was the best way to execute that.
I mean, I think anything rooted in asking people. So if I have to fear, like if I have to drill fear in you to give.
No, exactly, and that's
like,
where I was going.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just want to get that out the way of like, I'm not dogging offerings and tithes because how else do you want the church to run?
And it's a community.
But at the same time, like, it just felt like I was made a spectacle, and then it was also like, I don't like being the point of someone else's teaching moment when you don't know me. It's like, you don't know my background. You don't know what I had to do to get here. I pulled up in a 2011 Mazda, not even mine, with a donut on the tire because I couldn't afford to replace my tires because my parents couldn't afford to replace my tires. So I was riding like a spare tire for like 3 months because my tires were so expensive. And it's like, in a thrifted dress. So it's like, first of all, just because I don't smell like poverty doesn't mean like I'm not experiencing that. And second of all, like, don't use me as a teaching point when you're not my pastor, you're not my mentor, you don't know anything about me. And to point at me because I'm at the front row, would you rather me be at a house party, blackout drunk?
Well, I think that's the thing.
At 17?
That's the thing, though. It's like damn, like the whole "damn the youth," which I really want to make that into a shirt. But "damn the youth," I think it's kind of crazy because for kids, they're either super zealous for something or they're super against it, and so it's really, like I really can imagine my little brother hearing that and being like, dude, middle finger, screw this, like, dude, this is dumb. Well, because like now this is kind of sad, but like most people aren't going to read the Bible. Most people
won't read a book, period.
Most people don't read a book, but most people don't really study their beliefs, their religion. Like, I've realized that having like a whole thought process on a lot of things is not something a lot of people do. So a lot of people, I don't want to say most, but a lot of people, they kind of think in binary. Like, this is what I believe, so I go with that. And so when you say things like this, like, and you're kind of spoiling their belief in a way that they're just not going to attack that. They're going to be like, oh, that's what y'all think? Okay, I'm not going to believe this. That's why a lot of people that leave Christianity, or leave any religion, but like leave Christianity, their whole thing is like, oh yeah, well, that pastor, he used to like diddle the kids, or that pastor used to like, I mean, it's a big thing right now, but like that pastor used to ask us for money and then went on a cruise, which happened to when my I'll get into that, but
I love that.
Yeah, but like, people will be like, yeah, that's my excuse for leaving the church. And then you're like, but yeah, that, like, people suck. Congrats, you've realized that. Like, but what's your belief? Like, if you want to, like, we can argue all day, is there a God? Is this book from God? Was Jesus real? We can argue that. Sure, we can argue that. But then to like come around and be like, I don't believe in that because of this person who's like really awful. It's like saying, yeah, Catherine, I don't like being married to you because I don't like what you made for dinner. And it's like, wait, what? Which I'm sure someone's gotten a divorce. If you got a divorce out of a meal, please let me know. What meal was it? Like, it has
Sound
to
off
be,
in the comments below.
Yeah, I don't know.
What meal was it?
If we have a viewer.
How dry was that chicken?
If we have a viewer, if you got divorced over a meal, please let us know what it was. I want to remake it. But
I literally was gonna be like, I want to make it.
I want to make it because I'm like, dude, I want to know how bad that can be. But it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like, I don't know why one has to be brought with the other. Like, I guess that's why it's funny. I didn't even want to talk about all that, but I mean, really.
No, I
like,
literally said this as a funny haha story.
No,
and here we are.
It makes me furious.
It's not
So
feeling
like,
funny haha.
no,
It's feeling funny weird.
It could be funny weird, or we can bring it to funny haha.
I just want to tell this story.
No, dude, I'll get pissed about
It's
that.
crazy. Moral of that, he came back like 6 months later, and I didn't know until I pulled up at the church, and I turned around and went home. Because I was like, I never want to see this man again. So I don't want to relive the trauma that I went through.
Do you know his name so we can dox him?
I don't remember it. Oh. And when I tell you, I literally was like, delete from memory. But also, it's like, I mean, that was over 6 years ago. So, I mean, maybe he's not the same person he was then. Yeah. I'm not the same person I was then, So.
Yeah. People grow.
I don't want to. Also, you're like over here on the mic.
Well, I mean, I'm not. I'm not talking.
Sorry,
I'm not talking right now.
you were just like way over there. Anyways,
Can you hear me?
just
Can you hear me? Let me see.
there you go.
Oh,
I had to
it's
turn
Liz.
mine. Yeah, I think it's supposed to be, so you can adjust it. I don't know if it is. I had to turn mine because I knew I was gonna be moving a lot.
Yeah.
But no, what was I gonna say? Oh, I'm not the same person I was like 6-7 years ago. So I don't want to hold him to the flame that he was back then, because he could be a completely different person now. And honestly, I don't even know.
Okay.
But yeah, it was just a crazy experience.
How do you grow from that? Like, how do you look back and be like, man, I was telling these kids, like, damn the youth. And now I sell Toyotas. I can give you 21% interest rate, nothing down.
Once a scam artist,
160
always a scam
months in.
artist. No, I don't know. I think culture changes. I think you look back on your life introspectively. I think if you love God, to love God is to be changed slowly and surely. So maybe that got chiseled away over time. And if not, maybe his comeuppance are coming. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, comeuppance doesn't always have to be bad.
Yeah.
It can sometimes just be like a sobering thought.
Speaking of comeuppance,
Okay.
Chapel Roan.
Dude, okay, I'm glad we're ending on this. So, everyone's giving her crap.
Let's talk about what we're talking about. So basically,
I don't want to say what she's talking about.
I'll just talk about what we're talking about.
Say it.
Chapel Roan did an interview with Call Her Daddy. Shout out Call Her Daddy Pod.
Hey.
Alex Cooper.
She's fun.
Who's that cult leader with the last name Cooper?
Oh. No. Are you thinking about DB Cooper? He's not a cult leader. He was a guy who robbed the plane.
No, there's someone that did something terrible with the last name Cooper. I don't. Sergio, look that up.
Yeah, look that up. Cult leader Cooper. Did you?
Maybe I'm tripping. I could have just not liked the last name.
There's an actor called Amris Cooper who plays Coronation Street's cult leader, so in a movie. But he's not the actual Cooper.
Okay.
Cooper by association, but not Cooper.
Oh. My friend had a dog named Cooper. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. I don't know.
Cult leader.
Anyways, it just gives cult. I'm thinking Marilyn Manson. It's no Cooper. Anyways, Charles Manson. What were we talking about? Oh.
Shout out to Marilyn Manson.
Chapel Roan. Basically, she did a interview with Call Her Daddy, and they were like, "Do you like kids or do you want kids? I don't know." And then she was like, "I hate kids. I hate everyone. I hate my fans." She's just a big
She
hater.
didn't say that.
No, she literally was
said,
like, "If you're my fan, don't talk to me in the streets."
Well, I mean, I think
and
that's.
I'm like,
I get that, but
I'm like, first of all, okay, pop off, Queen. We'll talk about the fans, and then we'll talk about the kids thing.
Yeah, let's talk about the fans.
Because I have a lot to talk about with the kids.
Yeah.
The fans thing, I'm like, no one's upset about you putting up boundaries, but I think your delivery is just so harsh. It's like you kind of sound like a hater. Well, I don't know.
But that might be just how she might just communicate in that way.
But I think she should change.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think she just needs to change, not to sound like those type of people. She just needs to change her frequency of communication. I think if she just maybe shifted from, y'all should stop bugging me. So hey guys, why don't y'all calm down when y'all see me? I feel like, but then again, it won't get any attention. People are gonna probably swarm her more.
Maybe.
Well, look at Kanye. People.
No one talks to her now.
But look at Kanye. Nobody will get around Kanye, bro, because those videos are so timeless. You're like, "Morning, Kanye," because
shut up.
Because if you're rude, people do leave you alone. It sucks, but I don't know why it's how people are. So maybe that's what her reasoning is. Benefit of the doubt type of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I like Chapel's music, but I just feel like she's always crying about something. I'm like, why are you always crying? Can you not?
Well,
what do you have to cry about?
It's kind of her music, though, isn't it?
Well, I think that's different because it's like glitter pen music, music that's written in glitter pen, But I think this is different. This is I always have a problem. I have a problem with this. I have a problem with that. And I'm like, could you just vibe? We all have problems, but you need to just learn to vibe. Drink a Celsius.
Drink a Celsius. Celsius is gonna not gonna. You're not gonna vibe with a Celsius.
Celsius has a whole line called Vibes. First of all,
I have never vibed from a Celsius. I take a
love
Celsius
a good vibe.
and I just start, dude. I start shaking. I'm convulsing.
That's
out
the
here.
vibe.
What?
Cardiac arrest.
Well, but the thing is, I'm already like a very like high energy person, so I don't know if I need this to vibe. Probably like this would probably like and this has sent me into a panic.
You ever took an Excedrin then down to Celsius after?
I have never ever thought about
you ever
that.
you ever took a goodie powder packet and then down to Celsius right after? That caffeine will be like bam.
Caffeine is a drug. Kids.
Smack you in the face.
Kids.
Oh, okay, yeah. So she came out. She's like, I hate kids, blah, blah, blah.
Well, no, she didn't say that. She said, her exact words were, when Alex asked her, like, hey, do you want kids? She said, well, I don't know. That opportunity could come, but all my friends that have kids, none of them are happy. So she said and I'm like butchering her, whatever she said. So don't quote me, but something to the effect of, basically everyone who has kids is living in hell. Now, I get what she's talking about. She means like, you know, she's in Hollywood, she's touring, she's writing, she's in the studio, she's working, you know, she's probably not, you know, doing a relationship because she probably doesn't have time for it. So like if she had a kid, it would probably literally would be hell because she's seeing her friends. You take off time from your job, you know, you probably put your career on pause. You know, you do everything just, you know, have a kid, raise the kid, you know, especially if you want to be a stay-at-home mom or like a working parent, like whatever it looks like. She's probably going from that avenue. I think everyone's coming to her like, oh, like you hate kids or you're hating on people who have kids. I don't think she's saying that. I think she's more on the side of like, yo, none of them are happy because they all stopped their lives to have a kid, and you don't understand what I've had to like, the things I've had to do to have this life. So yeah, like if they're unhappy with, now maybe this is where the elitist in her might be coming out, which I hope it's not. But the elitist in her might be coming out. Maybe they're happy with their simple little Minnesota or wherever she's from. Is it Minnesota?
Midwest somewhere.
Midwest, like
a flyover state.
Oh, chill. Hey, chill. I like the Midwest, but
I'm from Louisiana. You don't even fly over that state.
No, I don't even touch that state. But no, I love it. I'm just kidding. New Orleans, but
I'm not from there.
I know. That's why I like New Orleans. But shout out New Orleans. I love New Orleans. But
shout out New Orleans. They had a dream.
But no, I just, maybe she's coming from the side of if they're going through a lot with their lives that like don't compare to mine because I'm in Hollywood, I'm singing, touring, studio, like I'm grinding basically, and they're at best working in a corporate office, at worst working at Walmart, and then like, you know, they're suffering with their kids. Like, yeah, like I don't want to know what that looks like for me. I'm assuming that's where she's coming from. I'm hoping. Like that's why I'm like, I think the hate's unwarranted. You know.
I don't know. I just think it's not what she says, it's how she says it. I was listening to a podcast with Chelsea Handler, and I feel like in some ways Chelsea has the same energy as Chapel and like a free spirit, like
she's a bit more charismatic though.
Oh no, and that's where I'm getting to.
Yeah.
Like they have the same free spirit like type energy.
Okay.
And Chelsea, she was asked, like, Chelsea, like, you're so staunchly against having kids. Like, you're 50, you don't have kids. Like, can you expand upon that? And she's like, I don't hate kids. She's like, I love kids. I see value in kids. I think that all kids need to feel seen and validated and, like, they're the next generation. But I don't want kids.
Okay.
And I don't think anyone's hating on the idea. Well, I think people are hating on it in general, but I don't think the general public is, at this point, hating on the idea of women not wanting kids. I think that the bulk of the hate that Chapel is getting is that she's so brash when it comes to the topic of having kids. It's like, you don't have to want kids. You don't even have to really want to be around kids. But, like, why are you a hater? Yeah. Why are you so rude about it? Like, half of your fan base is kids.
Do you feel like maybe there's like maybe not her, but people like that say things like Chapel, because we have a lot of friends that say the same thing.
Oh, absolutely.
But do you think those people, they're afraid of like maybe that's their side of afraid of Like said, like, because when you have a kid, I feel like if you get married, especially in this time and age, you can always get divorced. But like when you have a kid, you have to be at a very low like your conscience has to almost be like dissolved to like abandon the kid, you know, like, or to like not take care of the kid. And so like, do you think most people, they're like, well, you know, if I have a kid, like my life stops. You know, I have to finally accept that I'm settling down or slow down.
I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily the fear of like losing your career or anything.
Or
I
youth?
think it's excuse me. I think it's more of someone said it best on a TikTok. It was like you're emotionally stunted. And it's like how you don't want, you're so staunchly against children because you don't want to grow up emotionally.
Okay.
So you want to remain emotionally immature because to raise another child or to think about someone other than yourself requires you to mature emotionally basically.
Yeah.
And do the work. And it's like you feel more comfortable like operating like a 17-18-year-old mentally than like getting wisdom and being like, hey, I might not necessarily want to be a mother, but like, I can't act this way towards all children. Like children are people too. Yeah. And I'm an adult. I'm a leader in this child's life. Even if I'm not a parent, I'm an adult. I'm an example.
But do you think that part, that I'm the leader, adult, parent, do you think that's what scares people? Because like, you know, like this, which I didn't know Chapel was 27. I thought she was 21, 23.
I thought she was like my age, 24, 25.
I thought she was younger. Because, like, I mean, she just popped off. So I'm like thinking maybe, you know, she's young because she just popped off. Or a year or two ago she popped off. But I'm like, do you think people who are closer to 30, like those like millennial Gen Z types, which I guess.
Frontal lobe fully developed.
Like, but especially with that generation. Do you think they're really afraid of growing up? Because how many 30-year-olds do you know right now, that have kids and they're struggling to feel young? They are in, like, bro, I know this one couple. And like, you know, they had a kid, but dude, like everything like they wear has to be the latest trend. And then I'm like, dude, y'all are pushing 40. Like what why is there a fear of slowing down? I guess that's what Chapel sounds like to me. It just sounds like this fear of settling down and slowing down. Like, you can like fashion, you can like working, you can like all these things, but it's like, hey, you know, if you're 27, you're talking like a 19-year-old.
But I don't think I don't think the two are synonymous in that way, because on one hand, like Chapel, I don't think Chapel has the same problem.
Okay.
So, like, what you're talking about is, like, a generational issue, like a cultural issue in that generation.
Yeah.
Of, we are young.
Bro,
there's a fire in our soul.
Dude, that guy's crazy. I love that guy.
But it's like they were indoctrinated with that belief growing up because, like, you know, your dreams are going to come true as you're young, and like you have this youth, and don't lose the wanderlust, you know, like very 2012 Tumblr, you know. And so I think they peaked in that era, and so that's just their vibe. Yeah. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think it's different than being emotionally stunted, because they still have a sense of responsibility. They still have like a moral ethic of maturity. I think it's just different in their execution of, like, yeah, I mean, should you be 40 and shopping at Forever 21 and like trying to
rest in peace Forever 21?
Yeah. Should you be 40 and trying to fit in Brandy Melville? Absolutely not.
No, for sure not.
Like, get out of the junior section. But that's more of like a stylistic choice. Whereas Chapel, it's not even necessarily like a stylistic issue. I think it's fun that she's edgy. I like that she gives Catch Me Outside girl energy. Like, really? I like that she gives Cookie Monster pajama pant fight in Walmart energy. Like, that's not the problem.
Wow.
I think the problem is that there's nothing beneath that. I think there's a lack of emotional depth that people have a problem with, because it's funny to be edgy. It's funny to be like, it girl, like ITGIRL. You know I am that girl. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fun. Like, look at Doechii. Like, she's very like, you know, I like drugs. I like this. You know, like that's fun. But there's depth to her. There's depth to these other people. There's no when I think we personify depth on Chapel because of her music. But then when you hear her in interviews, it's just very surface level bratty behavior.
You know, actually,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, now that you say that, it makes sense because most of the things that Chapel, like most of the critiques that I see on Chapel's interviews, it's like she doesn't support this, she doesn't support that. But it's like, which I don't blame the people that have put expectations on her. I think she definitely comes across as a certain type of person who has certain types of morals and values. And so those people assume that she's on their side, which I get it. I think it's kind of crazy though, because I know what you mean now. I think maybe she just doesn't show her depth.
I mean, it's not necessarily like pick a side, because I'm staunchly against picking a side. I think we should all be tolerant and like well-rounded.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have your own beliefs. You stand on those, because if you don't, you fall for everything. But it's like, it's not even like you need to pick a side. You need to be a political figure. It's like you need to have emotional depth. Well, you need to operate as an adult.
But I think the problem is that most people who listen to Chapel, if maybe they heard some of her true thoughts, they're either going to say, oh, you're too far right, or you're a grifter because you like this, but you like this. Like, I think it's kind of, I think she's in a position where she doesn't win, because she can be vague and broad and say nothing, or she can be open and be like, hey, like deep, and this is what I really think, and then she'll be persecuted. So like, I kind of feel bad for Chapel. I think most people are kind of on the side of like, oh, she's probably a closeted Republican, or she probably did this, or something about her uncle being in the state legislature or something like that, which I don't really care. But
yeah, I'm totally aligned with what my uncles are doing.
Yeah, like, dude, shut up.
My uncle went to jail for doing drugs.
I didn't know
what
that.
What does that have to do with me?
I didn't know that Juan, who was like an uncle to me, spoke English. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, but my thing is like, I think that's just what's upsetting to me. I think it's like she kind of can't win, and so maybe she's wrong for saying the things she says. But it's like, I guess I get empathy for it, because I'm like, you're not gonna win. You're gonna say, she could go tomorrow and say all the PR training type of talking points. I promise you, it's going to be something. It's not going to help. It's not going to fix, because at the end of the day, people have expectations on people. And just like the expectations that somebody won't be shaming you for not giving $50, that same expectation's probably on her,
Yeah. Well, and I think there's a difference between disappointing people because you don't agree with them versus disappointing people because all you do is complain. Wow. And that's the thing. I'm like, I think it'd be different if you were a little vulnerable, and like shared your real thoughts. But if all you do is like get on a mic just to like complain, like you're just a negative individual at that point.
She might lose a lot of fans, but I'll say, like, if she was probably more vulnerable, she'd probably get an incredible amount of good fans, like people who genuinely vibe with her, like see her.
Yeah, I think she would get people who care about her for who she is, or who she perceives herself to be.
Yeah.
Because the whole parasocial relationship aspect of being a fan in general is like, you don't know that.
I was just about to say that though, because you know this more than me, but like about how famous people, they feel some type of way because they never feel seen. Mm-hmm. And so like they're always like on posters, albums, whatever, videos, movies, but like they're never truly seen. And so like maybe she would be fully seen if she was vulnerable. And so like, I don't know. It sucks though, because maybe she would also lose a lot of money, which people can say what they want.
I don't know. Her music's good. I feel like people are gonna be bumping. If people are bumping her right now, and ain't nobody like her right now.
Wait, if people
I feel
are
like
bumping,
people are gonna continue to bump her.
People are bumping Ariana Grande.
No one talks about that,
bro. But like, shout out to Ariana, bro, because
she's been through 4 ethnicities.
But listen, but shout out to Ariana Grande, because
and the 5th one she has ain't even hers.
Ariana Grande has stood on it though. She's like,
but you're still gonna listen to my music.
Because, I mean, she's the go. Like,
who can hit those whistle tone notes? Not Mariah anymore.
We all went to Wicked.
Hey,
I don't. I'm gonna say this to camera. I don't like musicals like that. Sound of Music's pretty great, but I don't like musicals. And I went to Wicked not really wanting to see this. First of all, and like Cynthia Erivo, man, good lord, bro, that is like one of my favorite actors / singers now because like she was amazing. But Ariana, like everyone's like, oh, she wasn't like the original. What's her name?
Oh, Kristen Chenoweth.
Yeah, she wasn't like her, but I was like, dude, I mean, she was great though. I mean, like the whistle tone type of things, the like how high her voice goes.
Goodness, no. I'm like, girl, what?
And you also forget that Ariana was an actress first, and so she's acting.
She was on Broadway
acting.
as a kid.
Oh, so like that's why this makes sense to me. And I'm like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't. One of the things I don't like about musicals is like that musical acting. You know what I mean? Like
like you don't like theatrical acting in general.
I don't like theatrical acting. Like I kind of like that. Like I like that kind of acting that's like kind of like seamless. But that thing that makes me be like, oh,
you
my
like
gosh.
more realism.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's the right terminology, but
yeah, you know,
you like more real life like acting. You don't
Yeah,
like
I do.
the whole theatrics like.
Well, because it makes me feel like you're trying to sell me something, and I don't like feeling like I'm being sold something. Which, by the way, dude, people are gonna make so much money out of me because they're gonna be like, oh, now I know how to get you. But
I'm
Ariana
trying to
Grande.
sell something.
Ariana Grande. All this to say, Ariana Grande was great. Cynthia.
People are still listening to her even if she's canceled.
Yeah, people are gonna continue to listen to her. Her latest deluxe album, fire. Oh my lord, fire! It was great. She was great. You know, praying for her for some of the other things she's going through, but she's great. I like Ariana. Cynthia Erivo. We wouldn't even talk about her, but she's great. And
I need to get glasses.
that was our cutoff.
Oh, that's our cue.
That's our cue. Well, this is a good time. I'll wrap up on everything. We love Marvin Sapp.
Oh yeah.
We love Bishop Marvin
Never
Sapp.
would have made it without you.
He's great. He's my favorite. One of my favorites.
Love Marvin Sapp, even though you're kind of crazy sometimes. Shout out to that guy that damn the youth. You know, I hope you're doing well, and I hope you're in a youth ministry somewhere.
Oh, and shout out to your neighbor who.
Yeah,
we're looking for the rock thief.
She
we're gonna
also
find
moved
you.
away, so not sure where she is, but I hope her rocks aren't still disappearing.
Yeah.
I didn't steal them. Chapel, I'm still gonna bump her music. I don't care.
Pink Pony Club is good.
We own a Tesla. Cry about it.
Ariana Grande, great album. Selena Gomez, Benny Blanco.
Happily Engaged.
Great music.
Justin Bieber had a kid. We didn't talk about him, but I felt like keeping an eye out for Selena.
The Biebs.
Look, Biebs in the Trap. Yeah, he had a kid. I don't know what else we talked about. Moral of that. Welcome to the Backseat podcast, episode 1. I'm feeling good. You feeling good?
Yeah, it was good. Was it good, Sergio? It was good. Well,
we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Or not.
Peace. All right, cut. Oof. Sorry, I was holding that in for the whole...